Hi all, welcome to my channel, welcome to my world, this is the world of Wayne. Today I'm going to be building stages 9 to 14 of the fan home release. I built the Fast and Furious Nissan Skyline. Now you know what, there's a lot to do today and I looked at some of the packs and the parts are really fiddly, so I will be using these today because I'm never going to see the parts otherwise. If you do want to get this for yourself, I have put a link in the video description and there's also a QR code on the screen you can scan. I don't know if this is still available in territories, but you'd have to scan that QR code or that link to check for yourself. Now, I thought I'd just fill you in on some of the things that are going on this week because there's a little bit of a changing going around in the next couple of weeks. So there's going to be a video on the channel tomorrow and Thursday. There won't be a video on the channel Friday, Saturday or Sunday. Then there'll be a video on Monday and Tuesday, and then there won't be a video on the channel on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. There'll be almost a week with no videos. There's going to be no live streams during that period as well, although there will be a live stream for the patrons and channel members tomorrow on Wednesday, and our last Chat Thursday stream before Wonderfest. So all up in the air, but when I say there's no videos, there will be videos from the locations I'm going, namely MCM Comic Con this weekend, and I'm at Wonderfest, and then I'm overseas in Europe for a couple of days, but I'll fill you in a bit more on that sort of stuff when I return. But without further ado, let's get cracking. Here's a quick stop press. If you are building along with me, I advise you to watch the full video first and then go back and then build your build as well. The reason being is because I make a few mistakes, but I do rectify them as I go along as well. It's going to be entertaining no matter what anyway. Anyway, enjoy. So here's stage 9. I've got no idea what order we are going to be doing this in. Now, I think we did the suspension and brake discs last time. So this time, we're going to be starting with some more of the front suspension system here. So I'm going to be putting this together, looking just like that. So by the end, that's how it's looking. So we are building again onto what we created in the last pack. So here's stage 9 here. Let's get all of these parts out. So all of these parts I'm showing you here are metal, but we're going to be starting to connect the knuckles together. This part here is just going to go down here, but if you notice there is a difference. This one has got a little lug, and that needs to be at the top there, that little flap. Can't find my words today. Okay, so I'm going to get this bracket, put that over the top. That's what's going to keep this in, and it's going to be held in with 8M screws. And there we go. When that's done, that's in place like that. The next section we've got, again, all metal, looking like this, is just going to go onto the top of the knuckle we created there. And this time that's held in with an AIM screw. An A is like an AM screw with an I in the middle, an AIM screw. This is a flange screw. I really can't get my words today. Wow. And screw that in there. I can put that whole thing to one side. Now I'm going to be doing the left suspension linkage. Now again, all of these parts are metal, and it's probably best on the top camera here. I want this way round with a tab on the top, and then this is going in this way. As you see, it sort of tends towards the left hand side there. I'm going to hold that in with 2 EM screws from each side. I tend to find with these metal screws, they do fit my PH1 screwdriver. If you can use a bigger screwdriver, I advise you to, because you do get a lot more torque on them. And I am using metal as well. Metal? I mean, I'm using oil as well. One of those days today. I do find this sometimes very hard to follow the pictures on this build because everything is black. So it is hard to see what we're doing, but I'm going to take what we just created, and this section here, this is going to go over the top like that, held in with an EM screw. And there we go. When that's in, that should now look like this. Bring over what we created in the last pack, and I'm now going to be putting this into place. Now it actually goes in this way, into the hole down the bottom there like that. And it's once again held in with one of the AIM screws. And you do want that tight enough so you have got some resistance when it turns like that. All I'm going to do then is take the smaller of the bushes that we get in this pack here, and that's just going to go over this section just here. Got to push it in, and that's a little bit tight to get in. Let's put some oil on this. I'm sure that's going to make easy work of this now. There you go. And I've got that in just like that. Now we have got 2 parts left over, another bush and a drive shaft there, but that's all there is to do in that stage. In stage 10, I'm guessing we're going to continue that. Let's have a look. We have got, this is the magazine. We've got the turbo system. Oh no, we're jumping back to the engine now. So we're going to be adding, look how many details we've got here. All of this to the engine. Wow, lots to do. And they're not kidding either. Look at this for a pack. Oh my God. Okay. So the first thing we're going to do by the look of it is we're going to be creating the air intake duct, which basically means we take these two sections here and I'm just going to piece them together. Now they are shaped, D-shaped hole, so it's just a case of pushing these in. These are really tight connections, so you're not going to need to glue these. There we go. I've then got an air flow meter. Now I don't think I'm going to need to glue any of this stuff because it goes in really tight, but I've got the airflow meter here, which is going to go on this way that I'm holding it just onto the side. So that fits nicely on there like that. Hopefully you can see that. Put that to one side. I'm going to bring over the engine. We haven't seen this for a while because we do have these manifolds to put on, and they're just going to be going on one there and also one here. And you can see some little holes at the bottom. They're held in with KM screws. So it's 2 for each manifold. So I get all of these in. And also, when you put them in, make sure they're the right way down. These tabs at the bottom here should be facing down. And there you go. They're in like that. Put that to one side. Now I'm going to be bringing over the compression housings, which are these two here. And I need the other sides, which are going to go over the top of these. And basically, all I'm going to do is slip these over the top this way round. They should fit all the way in there, making one complete unit. Do the same on the other side here, all the way down. Now, quite simply, you'll see on these parts here, we've got a keyhole pattern on one side. We're just going to be joining this to that there, like that. It's going to be held in with a CP screw. So whatever I've done on one, I'm just going to repeat on the other one here. And again, a CP screw. Then I'm just going to take one of these, and I've got the fire exhaust outlet here, which I'm going to be putting into place. It's basically following the shape of the screws there. So this is going to be going on exactly like that there. And it's held in, again, with KP screws. And we do need 3 of these screws. Bring over the engine again. And where we put this manifold in before, this one that we got here is going to be going just into the position down here. Now, we have got that locating lug there, which is going to go in. But I am holding it from the top with an AP screw. So get that nice and tight. That'll also dictate which way round this goes. So that's one in. Now I'm going to do the same with the other one here. But this time the exhaust outlet is going to have a plate on it, because it looks slightly different to the one we just had before. And it's going to go in like that. It's actually held in with a KP screw. Not the easiest thing to get in, but there we go. That's that one in there. It should fit nice and flush in there. And then in a similar way to what we've just done last time, this is just going to be going on here like this. And again, KP screws to hold that in. And then again, similar to what we've done last time, this is just going to be going underneath here, connecting one side into the locating lug, and then an AP screw from the top to hold that into place. And when they're both in, they should look like that. I've then got these exhaust manifold covers, which are just going to push into the tops here. So one on the lugs here and here, and the same on the other side. God, that looks good. Look at that. Then I've got the pivots for the turbo drive valves here. They're just going to go into here. So we push one in there. And exactly the same on the other side over here. I've got the air inlet duct just going into the end here. Like that. And then in a similar way, what we created right at the start, this one is just going to go into the point here. And that looks like that when it's in. And that's all there is to do in that stage. Loads of detail on that one. In stage 11, I'm guessing we've got loads of details again. Let's have a look. This is the magazine. And yep, look at that. Loads to do. So this time we've got even tinier things to do. It looks like we're doing the sparks or some of the injectors. I don't know what these are. We'll check them out in a second. Putting all of these into place. So by the end of it, the engine's now looking like that. They certainly packed all of the fiddly parts into one pack on this one, haven't they? Look, so fiddly. They've even gave us a tweezers. I'm probably going to need these. Okay, let's keep them out. So the first thing I'm going to need is this fuel rail here. Bring the engine back over. We're working on the other side to what we did last time. And I'm just going to be pushing this into the points here and here. So make sure they're all on, just like that. That's to one side. Now I'm going to be bringing over the injector wrap, which looks like this. And I need to take off all of these injectors here. These are the blue top ones from this sprue. So sprue cutters at the ready. And let's try not to lose any of these. Now these are going to be going into the lower holes here. So it's just a case of pushing them in. They are a tight fit, but I'm going to use pliers for these to help get these in. And that makes sure I've got a secure grip on them. And it also makes sure that they go in all the way, as you can see. You're not going to need glue for this, as long as you've got them in all the way. I've got them all pointing in a downward direction as well. So, they're all in like that. It's quite hard getting them all pointing in the same direction. Then I've got these red ones here, which I need to cut off. Again, I'm going to put a little bit of oil on the ends, and these are just going into the top holes now. Just kind of facing in the other direction to the ones we just put in. Just like that. Okay, let's do all of these. Again, the reason I'm using pliers and not tweezers is you're never going to get the grip you need to push these in with tweezers. And there we go. They're all in on that rail. Now we've got these tiny black connections to put in. Everything gets so tiny here. And this is where I am going to need my new tweezers, because these are going to be going into the holes just at the top here. And they fit in kind of like that. Hopefully you can see one. Going to do the same all the way along. Actually, these are going in a lot easier than the other ones. And there you go. They're all in. Now the rail that we created is going to go on top. Now in the pictures it shows there's holes in this section, but as you can see mine haven't got any holes. So I don't know if yours is the same as that. The picture's got holes, my one hasn't. So I'm going to put this in anyway to where this goes. One in that side and in that side. To be honest with you, it doesn't really need holes anyway, because if you have a look it just gives the implied look that they are going in there, those black pipes that we put in. So, a couple of details now to put in. We've got the rocker cover ornament, which is going into this point just here, just to push him. I've got the oil plug here, which is just going on this side. There we go. Let's push that one in. Now, I've got these crankcase ventilation connectors to go in. They are stamped. This one's stamped with an L, so it's going on this side here. And the right side's going on this side. And they should go off in that sort of direction if you look on the top camera there. So a couple of connectors to put on these. First one at the top looks like this. So one side in here. And one side in there. Perfect. Only I could have this part the wrong way round. I had this bit into there, but there we go. I realised that was wrong because I've got to put this section now in. One side into here. And then the other side into the hole, just into this duct. Like this. Probably get that in there first. I think that's probably the best way to do this. Excellent. So now that should look like that. Put that to one side. Now we're going to be making what they're calling the compressor housing. It's a very long stage, this one. Okay, so we're going to be putting one side into this bracket here. Then I've got the middle section to put in, which has got a notch to line up. So it can only go in one way, like that. Push that down. And then I'm going to be putting the end over here, making sure that goes onto that bracket as well. bring the engine over again, and this is going to fit into the 2 holes that we've just got at the top here. Quite a tight fit. So I'm going to push this down with my pliers here. There we go. That's into place. Then I've got this steering pump, which is going to go into the 2 holes below it onto this bracket here. And that just clips in like that. Now, underneath this section here, I've got the tension pulley support, which has got a locating lug here, and it's held in with a BM screw. Perfect. So when that's in, it should look like that. And the last thing we've got in this pack is a camshaft sensor, which is just going to be going onto this point here to hide the screw at the top. Push that in, so it looks like that. And that, wow, what a stage is all there is to do in that stage. Now, it's worth noticing that if you do happen to break any of these, you might have saw I broke one of the blue ones. They do provide 2 spares, so that's handy as well. So in stage 12, I think we're leaving the engine and going back to the suspension now, which doesn't mean that we've let up with the amount of details we've got, because as you can see, we got loads more. So we're going to be creating pretty much what we did at the very start of this pack. So again, it's now mirroring on both sides. Now, because we did do this at the start, we should be able to whiz through this now. So basically, we're going to take these 2 sections and push them together like that. We're going to be putting a bracket over the top of these, held in with AM screws to keep that into place. Again, taking this section here, this is going to go on the top, and that's held in with one of the AIM screws. Then I can put this whole thing to one side. And then just like last time, we're going to be taking this bracket, putting this in this way round, like that. So if we've got the hole at the top, the shorter edge is over here, held in with 2 EM screws from each side. And then this is just going to be attaching to the top of this section just here with an EM screw again. So now that looks like this. Bring over what we created last time. And in exactly the same way, this is going to go down the bottom just here, held in with one of the flanged AIM screws. Again, I'm thinking I might have put this in the wrong way. I always keep my mistakes in because I'm looking at symmetry. And you see these now look exactly the same on each side. So I'm happy with that. All I've got to do then is take another bush and push that onto the end here. Hopefully I can get it on without oil, we'll see. Yep, this one I can get on. Still not happy with the way I've attached these at the top because they're not looking like the final picture. So these should be attaching, which I think I was right first time, this way here. So what I'm going to do is get these lined up correctly, and we'll have a close-up look at how this should be. Yeah, I blame the pictures rather than me. But the final picture's quite detailed, so it does show you exactly how these should be. So now that is in the correct position to how they've got it in the picture now. Looking like that. Now, once again, we do have a drive shaft and a bush left over, but that's all there is to do in that stage. So, stage 13, this is the penultimate one of this very in-depth pack at the moment. Here's the instructions. And as you can see, we now got some of the suspension springs. We're working on the suspension still, quite a lot of details to do. Looks like we've got the steering rack as well that we're doing as well. So it's going to look just like this. You do get a little reprieve in the next stage because there's not much to do in the next stage. Okay, the first thing I need is the bottom of the left front shock absorber. It is stamped with an L. And I'm just going to be taking the base of the shock, which is going to go in here just like that. It's held in with an EM screw. And make sure that goes all the way through. That's perfect. So then we want to take the base of the shock absorber, and this is stamped with an L as well. One of the springs. We're going to be putting that on there. And then this is going to be fun. We've got to sort of push this down. Let me just show you here. Push that down and we're going to lock it into place like that. Okay, so we're going to do that with the spring on. Let's see. Oh, this is going to be hard. Oh, we've done it, I think. We have done it. There's me pliers just to help me turn this. I need something to hold the other side in as well. So I'm using two lots. Here we go. Perfect. We did it. Wow. Whew, that was fun. So there we go. That's one of them in place. Bring over what we created before. And this is just going to be going onto the point just there. It's held in with an aim screw, one of the flange screws. I've noticed the part at the top has got a keyhole pattern, but it doesn't tell you which way round that keyhole pattern should go. So I'm hoping it's not going to matter, but I'm going to make sure they're in the same direction. There is a chance I'm taking this apart again to put that in as well. But once I've got that shock in, I'm going to be creating another one. Now we should be brilliant at these now. So let's just get everything together. And if you remember, it's just a case of putting the bracket into the top here and holding it in with an EM screw. Making sure the screw enters from the really open side over here. Putting the spring over here. Oh God, here we go. Putting this in. I should be able to start it with hand, but it's hard. Let's hold that. And then in the other hand, using my pliers. Perfect. And up. Wow. That can be fun. But there you go. That's that one done. Again, this is going to be going into this side here. Held in with an aim screw. And there we go. That looks pretty cool, doesn't it? We can put that to one side. Because we're just going to be working on this steering system now. So I'm just going to lay everything out. So if I'm laying it out like this, I want the one that's stamped with an L. I'm just having a quick check. That's got an L going this side. The one that's stamped with an R is going this side here. Now I'm going to be holding these in with an MM screw through this side on this side on this side. Wow, I'm saying this side a lot today, aren't I? Right, okay. Let's do this. So there we go. That's that one in. And just from the opposite side here, that's that one in on this side. Excellent. Now this is going to be going into here just like that. It's into the housing, as you can see. Let me just clear up this because I now need to bring over what we were working on previously. Because this is going to be going on top of the points here. So what I need to do is just work this into position here, like that. Perfect. So then that's in like that. It's going to be held in with AM screws, just into the two holes down here. And then we're going to be taking the bottom of the steering rack and putting them through the holes there, like that. They're going to be held in with UM screws. Again, these are flange screws. So one there, just do one on the other side, just like that. And again, UM screw to hold that in. So now this is all linked up. So when I turn this, as you can see, they all turn now. Perfect. And that is all there is to do in that stage. So as I said, we do get a reprieve at the end because in stage 14, here's the magazine. All we're going to be doing is another front left brake here. So it's basically making the caliper, putting the brake together so it looks like that. But wow, what an in-depth pack that was. And I'm glad that I made mistakes again, because again, if I've made those mistakes, someone else is going to make those mistakes. But it doesn't help. The pictures aren't very good. So I'm hoping anyone who's building along with me and watching this video will be watching the whole thing first before they do it. But first thing I do is just going to piece these calipers together. So that's that caliper done. Put that to one side. We're just going to now piece together the brake disc. So lining up the holes here, just like that. And then I've got these tiny, tiny ZP screws, which just go into position here. And then one on the other side. And with those two parts, that's all there is to do in that stage. That's all there is to do in that pack. And there we go. That was quite fun, wasn't it? See, I make mistakes so you don't have to. So hopefully if you are building along with me, you've watched this full video first to see exactly how they are. It's the pictures. I really struggle with really dark images of pictures to try and figure out what location things go. But we got there in the end and everything seems to be working. So I really do hope you like that video. If you did, please remember to give me a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed already, please remember to subscribe. Other than that, take care.